Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Democracy 3 Let's Play. So let's see, what do we got here? We got a quarterly report. GDP is going up, crime is going down. Antisocial behavior is now at an end. Our polls are going up. We have 55% election vote. We have a small deficit of $10.7 billion. So let's continue. Immigration scandal. A random check of the food packaging industry has found a shocking number of people doing low-paid jobs without work permits. Opponents of immigration are outraged by the government has been unable to control our borders, and the unemployed are angry that foreigners are taking their jobs. The media are running strongly worded editorials about the government's immigration policy. Well, I just find it unbelievable that how undocumented people who can't speak English are taking your jobs. They're obviously taking the jobs that you do not want to do. We have a surplus now, and our polls are going down. Well, we can change that. We need to increase our taxes on petroleum to 35%. We have insufficient funds, so let's go another day. We now have high productivity. A new situation has developed. That is great. So let us check out factory farming law. A campaign for the tightening of animal welfare standards on farms is gaining momentum. A law has been proposed that would set higher minimum standards for the space, food, and access to outdoors that is available to animals in intense farming establishments. Set tougher standards. It's about time we did something to ensure animals are not suffering in intense farming. Most people would be horrified if they saw the conditions some animals are kept in. These standards would lead to more expensive food, but people would be happy to pay more if they knew the conditions in which animals are currently kept. I don't know if that's true, that people are willing to pay more for food if they knew that the animals are being taken care of. I mean, in the end, they are going to get slaughtered, and it is meant to sustain life. So let's leave things unchanged. Nobody forces people to buy processed meat from the cheapest source. There are organic and free-range foods, but the free market shows clearly that people aren't prepared to pay more for a change in animal welfare. This is the government interfering in a market to appease a few campaigners. I'm going to leave it unchanged. We have our education skyrocketing up, crime is at a real low, and GDP is going up. So let's get this petroleum tax. And this will dramatically increase our surplus and allow us to have a lot more revenue. And let's also get bus lanes, or we'll get telecommuting. Commuters go up, membership goes down, car usage goes down, parents go up, trade unionists go up. Sounds good to me. Let's see if we can get anything else. Fuel efficiency standards. Mandatory standards for new cars which dictate the minimum level of fuel efficiency. This is a long-term measure aimed to raise the fuel efficiency of our country's cars and thus reduce our dependence on oil, as well as reducing the cost of driving over the long term. It will be unpopular with car manufacturers, but a hit with environmentalists. Let's get that up. Capitalists don't like it that much, but it's okay. Quarterly report shows that we have our skills shortage is now at an end, and alcohol abuse is now at an end. Great. We have a surplus of almost $300 billion. Housing expansion. There is a shortage of homes in our country, and the government is under pressure to relax planning laws and allow previously restricted greenbelt land to be built on. Relaxed planning law. House prices are rising far faster than earnings due mainly to the shortage of supply. In the long term, the only solution is to build more housing. It's no good providing housing where there are no jobs, and if that means building on a small portion of green belt land, then that's a price we have to pay. Keep planning restrictions. There is always pressure to build new homes on greenfield sites because housing companies find it cheaper and easier to build on them. There are plenty of urban sites that should be reused before we resort to carving up the countryside. A sudden expansion into the greenbelt would be a dreadful impact on the rural communities. I believe that we should relax the planning law. We do not want something to happen, such as a housing bubble. Alright, so our next thing that we want to tackle is homelessness. I've had problems trying to tackle homelessness in the past, but hopefully we can do it this time. Also, we want to do alcohol tax, and we are going to legalize recreational. Where is the narcotics? We are going to narcotics. Should drugs such as cannabis and heroin be legalized? Supporters suggest that it is crime associated with the buying black market drugs that cause problems, and legalizing narcotics would reduce crime. Opponents point to the health risks and say it would be giving into criminals. I believe we should legalize cannabis. I am from Washington State, and a huge advocate that if we can use it to raise taxes, then why not use it? People who want to do drugs will do drugs regardless if it's legal or not. And we have no sufficient funds. So we have a green plot. Uncovered operatives have infiltrated an extremist eco-terror group known as Warriors of Gaia. This organization is committed to striking at the very heart of government, possibly even a direct assassination attempt, and is a threat we should take seriously. There is no imminent danger, but we should keep the situation under close watch. Market meltdown. Credit rating has improved to a AA, and we have a budget report of almost $500 billion, and we are coming out of this debt. So let us work on, where is narcotics? We are going to legalize cannabis, and we are going to set a tax to recreational drugs. We will have a high tax, and let's see if there is anything else that we can do. Let's do a plastic bag tax. Okay. Homelessness is now at an end. Great. And however, obesity is a new situation has developed. Children's food, there's an urgent policy question that requires your immediate attention. Well, let's check it out. A law has been proposed to regulate the fat content and nutritional value of food sold to children, including food sold in fast food restaurants and of course food served in schools. This is likely to incur costs for the food retailers. Leave law unchanged. You cannot interfere with the free market. This is a state interfering in people's lives. If kids want to eat fatty junk food and the parents do not mind, then who are the politicians to tell people not to eat hamburgers? Regulate children's food. Obesity is a major problem. It actually just became a major problem, which has severe impact on people's health. Marketing unhealthy food to people at such an early age is unacceptable, and we should pass the law now to safeguard the future health of our citizens. I personally believe in the free market, but since we have a current incident right now, let's regulate the food. I believe people should choose what they want to choose, and they will find that unhealthier food is bad for their health. So if it's their decision, make it up to them. Who are we to interfere? We should do health food subsidies, though. That is a great thing that we could do. And a tax incentive that makes healthier food such as fruit and vegetables cheaper than the higher fat or higher sugar foods, seen as an incentive to eat well rather than a punishment for eating badly, and thus less punitive on the poor than a fat tax. Yeah, this is what I prefer, something where we throw some money into it and give people an incentive rather than taxing it something bad, because that is just really kind of pushing people towards something that they may not agree with. Let's get a national monorail system. This will help with commuting and lower car usage. Also, it takes 16 quarters to accomplish, so it's a very long-term goal. And we have obesity, so we shall try to work on our obesity as a problem. But at least homelessness is no longer a problem. How are our office doing? Not very good, as in capitalists, environmentalists, liberals, and liberals. Let's hire someone new for our economy. liberals and farmers, trade unionists, conservatives, capitalists, and religious. Let's go with liberals and farmers. Public services. Public services. Parents, liberals. And transport. Religious capitalists. Transport. Trade unionists are not going to like us in the end. Farmers. Okay, religious people are going to eventually stop liking us. Let's go with farmers and religious for now, and then we will change it. Message from Russell. Unpopular with the votes. We have a surplus. Credit rating has gone up to AAA. And our health is going up. Education is slightly going down. But no worries. We need to rehire. Taxes. Not many good options to choose from. Law and order. Just go with the highest one for now. We're gonna have to reshuffle these again, which is unfortunate because I've had it where you can reshuffle it one time and everything works out quite smoothly, but then other times, sometimes it just, things start to get conflicting. Foreign policy, foreign policy, foreign policy. Okay. They are going against each other when you bring in other people, huh? That is not good. I should have kept it with my initial. We have another achievement, lonely at the top. There really is no room for friends at the top of the government, and your constant dismissal of ministers shows you take that attitude at heart. Pipeline attack. We are in a recession, we have surplus, and our voting polls are going down. Obesity. Let's get some new policies in place. Recycling is a good thing. Research grants. Let's get an alcohol tax. Put an alcohol tax in place. Get it to 30%. Drug addiction has developed. That is not good, due to narcotics being available. Ban same-sex marriage. Until recently, this hasn't been an issue. Marriage has been a straightforward issue and a ceremony reserved for heterosexual couples, but increasingly the more liberal ministers have been carrying out same-sex marriage. Should we ban this at a constitutional level? We actually just had this happen a year ago, in which they allowed marriages on a constitutional level. Personally, I feel like it really goes against religious ceremonies. Ban it, it's crazy. I'm pretty conservative. I'm pretty religious myself, but as a social issues, I am very liberal. I believe that who are we to say who can get married or who can't? But they should have called it something else. If they want it for the partnership of the financial reasons, because marriage is really between a man and a woman, says in the Bible. There are no good reasons to ban such marriage. There really is no bad reason to. It's just the kind of the name, and kind of as people who are religious are going to be frowned upon it, are going to frown upon it. So let's see. I'm going to reshuffle this again, and we are going to go for capitalist. We want capitalist. We shouldn't have fired so many people earlier, but oh well. Foreign policy, capitalist. Welfare. Economy. Liberals and farmers. Huh. Economy. Taxes. Conservatives, farmers, religious, taxes, trades unionist, socialist, conservatives, trade unionist, conservatives, religious, public services, law and order, transport, okay, there we go. See if there's any policies we can get in place. Nope. On to the next term. Alright, homelessness has now developed once again. The freedom of information. There have been calls for a law to increase the availability of information held on databases about citizens without their knowledge. These include the records held by private medical companies, insurance companies, and debt collection agencies, as well as information held by government departments. This is actually a problem with the NSA and Edward Snowden. Reject proposal. No one likes the idea of government holding information about them, but in some circumstances this needs to be done. The government isn't out to spy on everyone, but passing this law will just make it harder for the intelligence services to keep watch on serious criminals and terrorists. It will also affect a large number of businesses who have customer databases who will be swamped with yet more bureaucracy. It's essential that we have this law passed, as the checks and balances required in any truly free society. The average law-abiding citizen should not be spied on or monitored by multinational corporations with computer databases and potential for abuse by government agencies. If the citizens cannot view what data is being stored, is huge. Let's go with propose the Freedom Act now. Let's see. Yeah, no one likes the. I want to protect our government, protect our people from terrorists and criminals. It's okay. Sorry, it sounds good to have the Freedom Act, but I don't believe it. Narcotics is a problem. And let's see. We need to work on obesity as well. I was gonna focus on something. I believe there are prisons. Jury trial. Gotta get the liberals up. Prison tagging. Gated communities. Just lower that. Jury trial. Legal aid. Nobel Prize. Polls are going up. We do still have a surplus. Prisons, that's what we wanted. Extensive rehabilitation. This is something I was supposed to do a while ago. And private prisons. We want private prisons rather than directly control. I believe the private sectors do a way better job at handling things. And let's start the count for the re-election. This is actually really close. Okay, sweet. We begin our next term. We won software patents. Software patents are a form of intellectual property law that allows companies to protect algorithms, pieces of computer code, that implement a new technology such as new type of translation software or a system for purchasing online. They are generally popular with big businesses, but unpopular with those who fight for a free internet and those who think the patents are far too general and stifle innovation. I believe we should allow software patents, just because if you do have a small company that comes with something very innovative, it can really take on the giants and use it to their advantage. And this new age of technology is about who works quicker and faster and has the grit to really overcome. Okay. And what other taxes? Okay. Get a free eye test. Helps everyone. Pretty good for the socialists, I guess, but no worries. Get the junk food tax. Helps with the problem of obesity. And we can't have it be that high. Alright, we'll have it at 30%. Obesity is now at an end. Sweet. Alright, appoint senior judge. One of the most senior and respected judges has died, and we now need to make a choice for his replacement amongst the nominated candidates. This individual will sit in our courts for a very long time, as we must make the right decision. We want Lawrence Hall or Doris Perez. Someone who's strong for human rights. and strongly pro-consumer, not afraid to take on the large corporations, and someone who's famous for ruling against concerning violent crimes and often outspoken on views as harsh as the feelers should be applied to thieves, muggers, and her often outspoken views. Let's go on individual rights. We have our polls up to 80%. And that is actually the timer. So that will be ending this episode of Democracy 3. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button, and if you want to keep updated for more videos, feel free to hit subscribe. We will focus on solving the homeless problem again, as well as this problem of narcotics. Eventually, at the end, if we have enough time, we'll try to solve pollution and asthma epidemic. But yeah, until next time, thank you for watching. Flair is out.